Wouldn't have got those two in Miami. Because I got to believe if we're the same age and I could offset him, and that would have been good enough.
Right.
You know, like if he had got 40 in Game 6 and we the same, I would probably got 40 and offset him.
Right.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. This is my show. This is my camera. I run it. Oh! Acknowledge me.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to Outside the Playbook. Get this video, like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be breaking down Paul Pierce interview on Club Shay, and we're not going to waste any time. Let's get right into it.
We're the same age. I don't believe he would have had 4 championships. He wouldn't have got.
You'd have kept him for 4?
He wouldn't have got those 2 in Miami. Because I got to believe if we're the same age and I could offset him, and that would have been good enough.
Right.
You know, like if he had got 40 in Game 6 and we the same, I would probably got 40 and offset him.
Right.
You know, I was at an older age.
Now, the problem with that is if you're the same age as LeBron, right? You still can't guard LeBron. And it's crazy, and it's crazy, it's bothering me, all right? Y'all got a Michael Jordan fan defending LeBron James. And this is an indictment on the LeBron fans, all right? So y'all so focused on MJ and y'all letting Paul Pierce run around scot-free. That's a problem. The years in Miami, okay, that was 3 years after you, KG, Ray Allen got together. All right, you'd already had 3 full years, 3 full opportunities to get a championship. So now you're saying you're going to be the guy to stop a super team. You know what? They don't even like the term super team. Stop 3 Hall of Famers, 2 of which are top 3 at their position all time. LeBron being top 3 ever. You're saying you're going to stop that simply because you're 3 years younger, 4 years younger, or at the time LeBron was 27. So, all right, Paul Pierce at 27, he can give you 25 points per game. Still wasn't guarding nobody. Wasn't guarding a soul. And you got to factor in, you still have Dwayne Wade to deal with. You know, the other guy that gave you 30 points, 5 and 5, and over 50% in a series, in a whole series. That's what he was doing to y'all. You know, the same guy the year before that did y'all greasy in the playoffs? Yeah, that same dude, he's still on the team. So, yeah, you're worried about LeBron. Okay, you know, I gave up 40 LeBron, well, I'm going to go get 42. Okay. You still got 2 other Hall of Famers to deal with. That logic just doesn't compute. And like I said, you got 1 championship in 3 years before LeBron even got there. And when you didn't have KG, that playoff series versus Orlando, y'all got sent home. So don't act like it was you versus LeBron and that's all there was to it.
He stayed a lot of miles and stuff, and it was hard for me to keep up with him. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be looking at that tape shredder and I'm like damn. I couldn't even move. Like, as a younger, I could have moved with him, but I'm
because you know, in Brooklyn, you say you got it. You gonna D him up in Brooklyn. I don't know what you was on that day.
My mind and body say 2 different things.
Your mind was saying one thing, that body said, nah, I ain't
got him, you know. I thought I did. Oh, man. I ain't gonna lie.
You was very outspoken about KD going to the Warriors. You say it's not so much that they have the ability to go. LeBron and KD had the ability to go wherever they wanted, but it was KD going to a team that won 73 games, that have the MVP, and they had just lost the finals. Do you believe that KD would have been judged differently had he gone somewhere else and helped that team win a championship as opposed to the Warriors?
Yeah, of course he would have got judged differently because the way, and it's the same thing with Ray. We just lost to Miami, then you join them.
Right.
KD, you just lost to Golden State, who you should have beat.
Right. Because you was up 3-1.
You was up 3-1. And you.
All right, let's put all of this into perspective real quick, okay? Ray Allen was on the decline. He was on the decline, okay? He wasn't the same big 3 Ray Allen that y'all got from Seattle. Wasn't the same Ray from Seattle or Milwaukee, all right? He was on the decline. I get it. Y'all have a brotherhood. Y'all supposed to ride off into the sunset together. You, KG, Ray, y'all came together to make this thing happen. I understand that. But him and Kevin Durant, two different categories. Now let's talk about KD. In my mind, and it's ironic he just talked about, the situation with James Harden going from OKC to Houston. He could have went to Houston. I don't know if it would have been looked at the same way as him going to Golden State, but he definitely would have went to Houston and made them instant title favorites. They still would have been a super team because I'm pretty sure, they were changing the way they built around James Harden around that point, around 2016, 2017. They really started to change the dynamic of that team. So Kevin Durant, he would have been a part of that changing dynamic, and that would have made sure that James Harden moved to the one even sooner than he did, right? Boston was an option, but they didn't really have all their ducks in a row. They were still kind of, in that mode where they were trying to make Isaiah Thomas the guy. I don't know if KD would have been able to win 2 championships like that. Dealing with that team, having to go through Cleveland, I don't think that would have worked out. Obviously, the big market teams like New York, the Lakers weren't really doing much at that time. Kobe was, wrapping up. He had just retired, so that wasn't really the ideal destination, right? Obviously, I'm going to throw Miami in the hat. I'm going to throw Miami in there simply because they still had a lot of pieces. But you still got to understand, KD is fighting the idea that he's not on the same level as LeBron James. And I'm not talking about championships and, I'm talking about skill for skill. All right, everybody keeps saying KD is number 2. KD, and a lot of people believe he was better than LeBron. That's a fair argument that he wasn't winning at the time, right? So anything that he did meant if I make this move, I have got to win a championship. Plain and simple. Nothing around that. I have to put myself in a position to win the championship. If I plan on leaving here, there was no other place other than Golden State that was a lock and a guarantee that if they played the right way, if they were healthy and they got into the playoffs, championship, right? Now, there is some pushback. 73-19, we lost to them, but also they lost the championship. So it's not like I'm exactly, joining the bandwagon. Writing was on the wall. Cleveland might have figured Golden State out at the time. KD was the perfect foil for LeBron and Cleveland Cavaliers in that situation.
Joined them.
Right.
And so that's where the criticism come in, because it was just like, damn, KD, you good enough to beat them.
Right.
Like, we feel like that's because that's how the old school stars won. We like, man, I'm going to get over the hump. I'm going to take my lumps.
Take my lumps along
And
the way.
people just felt like he took the E.
You got over the hump? You got over the hump, huh?
Pause again.
Talk about that first of all, but Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo coming along didn't have nothing to do with you getting over the hump, right? So you want a guy to stay somewhere. Obviously, Russell Westbrook is a legend. I think Russ is top 5 all time at his position, possibly top 3, okay? But they weren't getting anybody else. It was just him and Russ, okay? He had the opportunity to join 3 other Hall of Famers. You're saying that you yourself, if it wasn't KG going to Boston, you wouldn't make the move to go somewhere else to join another? Come on, man.
Easy way out.
I don't believe that.
And that's all. But, like, I get it, because we live in a culture to where
Rings now, it rings are everything now.
judged off your championship. So he said, let me get that out the way.
Yep.
So now what y'all going to talk about?
Right.
And so I get it. It's more understandable
Facts.
now, because I come from the old school, and I feel like,
Facts.
man, you gotta get it the hard way sometimes.
You got to take your
lumps.
lumps. And maybe you don't get over the hump.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley and Karl Malone, maybe you don't get over the hump. But what you don't do is, and that I look at it like this. He paid his debt to
And here's the thing about Charles Barkley and guys that don't have championships. Kevin Durant looks at that and says, I have championships, and y'all still talk about me worse than those guys that don't have any. But we judge you off of championships, so which one is it?
the society. He paid his debt to the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
His contract was up. I'm trying to think. I don't know if he could have gone. Where could he have gone and won a championship? If you look at the landscape, if you go back, if you can remember, if you go back and look at the landscape, where is he going? If he goes to the Knicks, he not beating Kyrie and Kevin Love and Bron and Cleveland. If he goes anywhere else, they're not going to beat the Warriors. He got to go back to OKC.
He got to stay in OKC.
Okay.
You got to stay right. You went to the finals with that team.
Right.
And you up 3-1 against it. This was supposed to be the rivalry that we should have saw the next 5-6 years to where one of these two teams is going to go to the finals every year.
Right.
You know, you stay there. You got the team.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that had to do with Russ.
Yeah.
You know, I think they was bumping heads. And it looked like it on the court. Because you felt like Russ should have got him the ball more, but Russ felt like I'm the man.
Right.
You know,
and then, it's hard to argue because the next year he goes to win the MVP and averages triple-double.
And my thing about the whole conversation about Russell Westbrook, KD leaving changed the way we talk about Russ. Changed the way we talk about Russ. I go back to the 2012 finals. Magic Johnson went off on Westbrook. Went crazy on him. You should be ashamed of yourself as a point guard to have a player like KD and you're not constantly coming up the basketball court, giving him the basketball. That's your job. Come up the court, give him the ball. And then the next game, Russ goes off for 40+, keeps OKC in the game, and then Magic apologizes on the panel like, wait a minute, that's my bad. That's how you have to play for this team to be successful, to have a chance to win. You are a superstar in your own right. KD leaves. Everybody starts looking like, man, Russ, can't nobody win with Russ. Russ is a cancer. He's not the type of guy that's going to, what the league and the media thought he should do was bow down and kiss the ring of Kevin Durant. For whatever reason, people didn't think that Russell Westbrook had the right to be, or the right to think that he was a superstar as well, which is so stupid to me because you look across history, Magic and Kareem, Kobe and Shaq, LeBron, D. Wade, you look at all of the great duos in NBA history. Obviously, everybody had their role on those teams, but everybody was allowed to be great in their own right. And Kevin Durant with Westbrook, the media, former players did not allow him to do that. KD leaves. Russ was the problem. Can't nobody win. But, Russ got a triple-double, a thing that we thought we would never see again. We would ever see a player average a triple-double in an NBA season is scoffed at because of the player and who it is, because we seen Kevin Durant go to Golden State, win 2, and everybody's saying it didn't happen in OKC because Russ was at fault.
Right. So it's hard to say that he couldn't be the man. And that's the hardest thing. Right. Is that Shaq and Kobe should have won more championships together. Right. But Kobe like, I'm the man, and Shaq like, nah, you little bro. He said, nah, not no more. Damn. Because just imagine. The perfect situation is Kareem and Magic. If that Magic was fine, Cat, where you want the ball? Gotcha. Right. It's hard when one guy believes that he can be the man and he should be the man. Magic knew he could, because when Pat Riley challenged him and said, I need you to score more, Magic went out and scored more, averaged over 20, and won the MVP. Right. But he's like, Magic tells the story that when Pat Riley told him that he needed him to score more, he like, you run that by Cap? Oh, wow. I need you to clear that up with Cap.
I don't think, I'm gonna wait.
Right. But then that was Magic's game was passing.
Yes.
When you got two guys who they game is scoring, then you got to say who's gonna, take the lesser role in all of this.
It's hard because the way we live in a society, we got to determine credit. Somebody, it ain't no 50-50. No. Truth. We got to get somebody need 51. We got to get somebody 49. We got to be 60-40. We got to be 70-30. Ain't no 50-50.
One thing I don't like about that conversation where, Russ has to be the lesser, Kevin Durant has to be the greater. They won in the regular season. They're one of the best teams every single year. Multiple conference finals, finals appearance, had the Golden State Warriors down 3-1. When you have the opportunity to put a team away that won 73 games in the regular season. You're up 3-1. There's more problems than just Russell Westbrook won't pass me the ball or Russell Westbrook won't be the lesser star. There has to be more than that goes wrong when you're going from being up 3-1 to losing that series. There has to be more that's wrong. And I'm not saying, KD, I'm not going at KD. What I'm saying is this narrative that they lost because Russell Westbrook was the issue in all of this is what I got a problem with. But yeah, y'all LeBron fans, y'all gotta do better, man. Y'all not doing y'all job. Y'all are not doing y'all job whatsoever. I'm a Jordan fan, okay? In the sense that I think Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, and I'm defending y'all mans. I got to defend him because y'all focused on Mike and y'all letting Paul Pierce run scot-free. Get this video a like, subscribe to the channel. That's one more for the good guys.